friends. I've been wanting to do this video since we got back from our trip in February 5th through the 9th. But things have been a little crazy here, so I'm just getting around to doing it now. And in case you haven't watched my haul video, I'll give a little backstory. I kind of did in the haul video, but this was my second time in Disney, but my first time was in 97 for the 25th anniversary, so it was kind of cool that I was there for the 25th, and then now the 50th, so I said that I have to make sure I go for the 75th now. But, so I don't really remember much of my trip from 97 when we went. I only really remember one thing, and it was this sweet story. This lady, for the parade, she was sitting on the curb with a blanket and her kids, and I was toward the back, and I think I was wearing a first visit button, and she saw, and she asked my dad if it would be okay if I sat with them so I could see the parade better, and my dad was like, all right, I'm right here. But it was just this magical moment, and one of the things, like I said, the only thing that still is in my head today. And we actually ran into her in the airport, like when we were leaving, and my mom hadn't been with us at the park. She's like, why are you talking to some random woman? But I don't know her name or even where she's from. I really hope she's had an amazing life, because it just stuck with me for 25 years now. But yeah. So basically this was kind of my first time, because especially when we went in 97, I didn't stay on property. I stayed in Kissimmee. It was my mom, my dad, and my mom's best friend, Joanne. We were staying at her timeshare in Kissimmee. So this was pretty much a new ball game for me. This time, my friend Amber that went with me, she had never been to Disney, so it was her complete first time. So we went from the 5th through the 9th of February and stayed at All Star Movies. We had a preferred room in the Fantasia building, an accessible room. So we had a roll-in shower, which was very convenient. Room was great. Room was fantastic. When it comes to disability, planning with a disability, I did quite a bit of research. I applied for DAS because I knew I have an autoimmune condition. They're still kind of going back and forth on to which one it is, but they're also monitoring me for what's called MELAS, MELAS. It's the form of muscular dystrophy. It's mitochondrial encephalomyopathy with lactic acidosis and stroke-like episodes. My mom has it, and it's passed from the female in the family. And we look back, and you can have one system involved, or you can have all your body systems. So looking back, we think a lot more members of our family had it and just never knew, because they might only have heart issues or only diabetes or whatever. But yeah, so I'm being monitored for that. So I knew, based on some of the issues I have with my autoimmune disease, that I would qualify for DAS, or Disability Access Service. So I actually pre-registered online 30 days before my first park day, because it's not from the first day you go to Disney, it's your first park day. How for us, we went to the park the 7th and the 8th, so I had to wait until 30 days before the 7th, not 30 days from the 5th. But it was super quick. Well, I shouldn't say super quick, it took about an hour. But I didn't go on when they first started, when they opened at 7. I believe they opened at 7. I was on around 11:15, and I was done by 12:15. It was awesome. The guy was super, super nice. Basically, all you have to tell them is why waiting in a traditional queue would be difficult for you. And like I said, I have certain, with my conditions, reasons why it would be pretty much impossible for me to wait in a regular queue, regardless of if I have a scooter or not, because mobility issues are not covered by DAS. So that was great, and I was able to pre-select my 2 rides for each day. And when it came to scooters, The first night I got a scooter from Scooter Bug because we were going to do Buena Vista because they had a higher weight capacity scooter, and I wanted to have as much like leeway between my weight and the scooter maximum to get better performance. So Scooter Bug, they will deliver without you being there. Buena Vista, you have to meet them at certain, I think there's like 3 drop-off times per day, and our flight landed too late to use Buena Vista. So we used Scooter Bug, had them drop it off at the hotel while we were, not even there. Was waiting, grabbed it, was great. Scooter was awesome. Other than the rope lines are very tricky. I actually, we went to the food court when I got the scooter and when we got to the hotel because we were hungry. And I got trapped in the rope line at the dessert station. So the cast members were amazing. They'd come over and they would move one of the poles and be like, okay, you can move a little bit now. Wait, hold on, let's move the next one. And then I got through and the whole area just started cheering. It was hilarious. But yeah, it was awesome. Other than like the queues are a little iffy. Just take it slow. It's a little harder for me because I don't drive. So I actually, if you're in a similar position, I went to BJ's. But if you have a Sam's Club near you or a Costco, go practice with theirs because of the wide aisles. It's a lot easier to practice. My mom's friend's actually the one that went to Disney with us both times because she actually came with us this time but yeah, she took me. But my mom's friend did come with us because this was basically my first trip away, especially flying. I hadn't flown since we went to Disney. This is only my second time. But she came because my dad was a little leery with my sickness, with my illness. I should say. He was a little leery me going away. So she went to kind of just be like a backup. So she stayed at her timeshare in Kissimmee. She was about a half hour away. But it made him feel a little more comfortable knowing that she was, close. I do have a cousin that lives a little bit, like, kind of by Sarasota. But that's, considerably farther. But, yeah, so she was there. And she took me to practice at BJ's. I did okay. A little iffy backing up. Getting on the buses is a little tricky, like because you kind of have to parallel park it. But all you have to do is say, hey, would you mind helping me? And 9 out of 10 times, the bus drivers are super, super, super helpful. And they'll kind of help you get in position. Now, they did teach me a trick. Like, once you're in position, to get off the bus is super easy. They just said turn the wheel all the way to the right, go as far as you can. Turn your wheel all the way to the left, go as far as you can, and you're lined up and just go right off the ramp. But getting on the bus is a little harder. Also, okay, a couple other things I've learned from the trip. Like, I should have listened. Always plan more time than you think if you're using Disney transportation. Plan taking an hour because everything is a lot further away than you think and it will take forever. For example, Monday morning, we decided that we were going to go over to Polynesian to do shopping because I wanted some stuff in Boutique that they only sell there, obviously. So we left at 9:15, 9:30, got on a bus to Magic Kingdom, then got on the monorail to Polynesian, went and ate breakfast. My friend wanted to try the Tonga toast, and I figured, why not just get breakfast over there? We found a table out by Trader Sam's Tiki Terrace, because they obviously weren't open yet. Sat by the waterfall. It was beautiful. Beautiful weather. Beautiful atmosphere. Meal was delicious. And then we did our shopping. And we didn't really bring sunscreen or really anything. We had a reservation at Disney Springs at 3:45. So we figured we'd go back to the hotel, swim for an hour, get changed, go to the dinner. We didn't get back to the hotel. We had to go back to the hotel to change, and my friend wanted to put makeup on and everything. We didn't get there till 3 o'clock. We had 8 minutes until the next Disney Springs bus was coming to go in, get the stuff we needed, and my friend would do her makeup, and then catch the bus to go to Disney Springs. We thankfully made it within, 10 minutes to spare. But always, 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 always plan for more time than you think you're going to need. You have to. Because I wish I would have listened. It's crazy. It takes a lot longer than you think. And that's nothing against the drivers, it's just everything's spread out, and it was just bad planning on our part, basically. Other than that, I really have no complaints with that aspect. The parks, super accommodating. Cast members are so amazing. And guys, when you're there, when you're leaving, they're waving to you. Just wave back. Be a kid and wave back. I saw so many people just walk by and I waved to them, and they would get so happy that somebody waved back, and it's like, why not? I don't know. I just can't imagine not waving to them. I mean, it's nice to be, in the moment, I guess. Everyone's just kind of tired and overwhelmed, but it was nice to just wave back and thank them. And I'm sure it's such a thankless job at times. People get angry and overwhelmed, and they're stressed because everything's expensive. But just take a minute. With the parks, rides were great. The queues, either we went through the regular one or they had a separate entrance for wheelchairs. And some I had to transfer to a regular wheelchair and leave my scooter. Animal Kingdom, same thing. The safari, I could have rode in my scooter. I just took the step on. Same with Jungle Cruise, I did stay in the scooter. But, because that I was a little worried about getting on the boat because of the water. But other than that, no issues with the rides. Did have an issue with the scooter with Buena Vista, which was the second scooter we got. There was something wrong with the manual knob in the back that it would get stuck and you couldn't put it in manual mode, and then it would stop running randomly. So Wednesday, which was our last park day, we were doing Animal Kingdom in the morning and then hopping over to Hollywood Studios. Well, I forgot to charge the scooter overnight. It was still about half charged. So we decided we were good, went to Animal Kingdom, and the hills, it did not like Animal Kingdom. It was draining the battery pretty bad. So we figured we'll get over to Hollywood Studios. My friend wanted to get pictures with Max's Powerline. And we would go, they had a list of where you could charge it, and one of them was Pizza Rizzo. So we figured we would just eat there. I heard not so great things about it. It wasn't bad, but we would eat there, get some juice into the scooter, and go from there. So we did that, charged it up. We went on Toy Story Mania. It had brought the battery up pretty good. We went over to Toy Story Mania. I went to get on the scooter after we were done. It wouldn't move. It was just flashing. And I'm thinking, what the heck's going on? And I started panicking, because that's another one of my issues. I have really bad panic attacks. It put me into a panic attack. I didn't know what I was doing. One of the workers came over and was like, maybe it's something with the knob. And he hit the manual knob, and whatever, it started working. And we were able to get out. Now, the battery still wasn't charged all the way, but we hadn't seen the fireworks on our Magic Kingdom day. We did Magic Kingdom on Tuesday. And, best laid plans didn't end up working, and we were just exhausted. So we went back to the hotel for a big chunk. So we did that and missed the fireworks that night. So I said, I really want to see the fireworks. So we decided, instead of staying at Hollywood Studios, doing a couple rides and then seeing Fantasmic, we would go back to Magic Kingdom. So I figured we'll charge it when we get there. So we went, got some carrot cake cookies on the way for some family. My mom wanted some. I wanted to get one for Amber's mom. And I wanted one. So she ran in and got some for me so I wouldn't have to do the line. And then we went over to Magic Kingdom. Well, it started flashing again. And we're trying to navigate. Of course, this was right before the fireworks were going to begin. So many people. We're trying to find a spot. I finally find a spot, and I'm figuring out we're going to stay here, then I'll go charge it somewhere. And right when the fireworks start, someone puts their kid on their shoulder right in front of me, and I'm like, oh, just my luck. So I'm sitting in a scooter, I can't see anything now. So Amber came back because she kind of went to scope out, a better place. And she said, well, come this way. We'll go over, over to this area. And we went to go, and the scooter stalls in the middle of the walkway. It's flashing. It won't do anything. Amber goes to try to do the manual little flipper thing at the back. Nothing's working. Of course, now the cast members are coming over like, hey, friend, you have to keep moving. It's like, scooter's dead. It just died. So they're trying to figure out what's going on. They called security over, and they're trying to mess with it. It's not working. So they're like, can you stand without it? And I'm like, no, I can't. I mean, I can stand for like a minute or so, but it's anything longer than that is not going to end well. So they're like, okay, well, it's fine. So then they were trying to do this manual knob to try to see if they could get it to move. Like I could step off of it and they could like move it to the side. They couldn't get it to work. Finally, they got the knob to work and they were able to move it to the side. And then I just went over and the side. And I don't know what they did, but whatever they did, it started the scooter. So I don't know if there was like a latch in the back that wasn't catching or something. But after I sat there for a little bit, I just like put it on to see if it would work, and it like moved a little. It was at a snail's pace, but I figured it was good enough that I could get to Space Mountain, because we were kind of like almost by the bridge into Tomorrowland, and I figured we could get to Space Mountain and charge it there. So the cast members were amazing. I wish I would have gotten their names, because they were so patient and like trying to figure it out. And I know it wasn't ideal for them because they're trying to keep the walkways clear. So I felt really bad. So then I had to charge that in the corner. So that wasn't ideal either. So don't forget to charge your scooter. Just don't. Yeah, other than that, I can't say there was any negatives. Other than, I don't know if it's an issue with everybody. One issue I did have, I have glaucoma, which, I mean, everyone's like, oh my God, that's an old person disease. Everyone always says that. I've had doctors like prescribe medication and they're, like, oh, do we have any, any side effects or any interactions? They're like, yeah, the only thing is glaucoma, but you don't have to worry about that. It's like, yeah, I do. But, yeah. So, and I have really bad depth perception, and with some of the curbing on Main Street, it's like it matched the street color. So one time I actually drove the scooter off a curb because I didn't realize that. So, especially if you have any eye issues, you want to really be cognizant. And I was after that, because I almost tipped it, and it was kind of scary. Yeah. So you just be like super cognizant of that. Once I knew that happened, then I knew, to be extra watchful. But cast members were amazing. I can't complain with anyone. Everyone was super awesome, from the bell service at the hotel, taking all our bags in. I mean, the guy had we stopped at Target on the way, so we had a case of water and a case of ginger ale and snacks. So there was 20 bags altogether, including our luggage. And he was so nice. He set everything out for us. Wish I would have gotten his name, and it bites me in the butt that I didn't, because I would love to have submitted a cast compliment, especially for him and the people that helped with the scooter issue at Magic Kingdom, because they were really rock stars. They were amazing. Hotel was great. Airlines, I can talk about the airlines a little. Being a plus size gal, of course, you know, we flew Southwest down, which was amazing. Now I hear the new Max 8 planes, the armrests don't go up. So if you're flying Southwest, make sure it's not the Max 8 planes. It'll say Max 8, Max 8 737. But the other ones, I pre-booked an extra seat following their passenger of size policy. You don't have to pre-book, but my anxiety could never. So, and then once you get home, well, actually, once you land, you can call them and get a refund for that second seat. So, which is super amazing. So I did that. It took I think 7 days, 7 business days to get the refund, not even. So it was pretty quick. But what we did was we put the armrests up, and they fold flat with the chairs. And it was like we had our own little couch. It was really awesome. The knee space leaves a little bit to be desired. It was a little cramped, but not too bad. I mean, I'm pretty short. I'm 5'3", but I think if you're much taller than that in my size, you would be pretty cramped. Now, on the way home, we didn't fly Southwest because in order to fly Southwest, we have to fly into Philadelphia, which is about an hour south of us. We live in Lehigh Valley. And I didn't want to have to try to get a ride home from Philly again. So we flew Allegiant because it'll fly into our local airport. Now, Allegiant, I did pay to upgrade. I picked our seats, and I paid to upgrade to the extra legroom, which, if you can afford it, do it, please. It's so amazing. We had so much room to kind of reach out. And now their armrests do not fold flat against the seat, so there was a little bit of a bulge outward, and I did have a little bruise from it, but it wasn't super uncomfortable. I mean, granted, it was only a 2 hour and 15 minute flight. I could imagine if it was, a cross country flight, it might be a little harder. But other than that, they were great. I had set up wheelchair transport through the airport when I booked. They were always there waiting and super amazing, super helpful. The guy at Sanford Airport, we flew from Sanford home, he was so amazing. He helped me with my shoes. He put all this stuff on the tables to be scanned. He was so awesome. This man was so helpful. And I honestly, at that point, I wasn't prepared for my legs to swell as bad as they did from being hanging in the scooter. And they were really, really bad by the time I got home. And I could barely move. So his help was a godsend, obviously. But yeah, if you're especially plus size, keep in mind, elevate your legs as much as you can, because it's not fun. It's still giving me issues. I got checked out. It wasn't a blood clot or anything, thank God, but it was really rough, especially that flight home. My legs were horrible. I was, constantly trying to march while I was sitting and rub my legs to try to, keep the circulation, because they were burning so bad. And it didn't help that my shoes, I had worn them a few times to break them in, but they were still semi-new and they were a little tight. So that probably didn't help matters either. But yeah, Elevate, and I've heard people talk about using Epsom salt gel on their legs that's supposed to help with swelling. I didn't try it, but that's what I've read. I might try it for my next trip, which will hopefully be soon. I am not 100% sure when, but potentially February soon. If not February, then maybe November. Especially with this new, with them bringing back the dining plan. I'm so excited. So, if at the very least, it'll be February 2025. So, I'm still even excited about that, seeing as it was 25 years between my visits. But I really, really enjoyed myself. I honestly felt more at home there than I do here. I mean, people were so sweet. I know a lot of people think like they don't want to be in a scooter when they're plus size because you don't want people to judge you. And you know, at the end of the day, you're living your life. You're never going to see these damn people again in your life. If somebody wants to think, let them think what they want to think. You worry about you and making your vacation the best that it can be. And you know what your limits are or are not. And forget what everyone else thinks at that point. You know? I didn't run into one person that gave a shit what I looked like or what I was wearing or anything. I had people come up to me and tell me they love my ears. I made, it was like a stitch blue baseball cap with stitch fabric ears, and then I added like pink and like periwinkle color like flowers around it. It was pretty. They were pretty because I need to try to avoid sun exposure as much as possible, which I still got burnt, but they would, you know, I've got compliments over my ears. One lady was like staring and she was like talking, and then she came over. She's like, I just didn't want you to think we were talking about you, but I loved your ear. I love your ears. But they were so sweet. And then in Disney Springs, we took like a square tote bag that folds down to put all the bags, because I figured we were doing a lot of shopping. We would put all our stuff in the tote bag. That it's I think maybe like 14 inches by like 10 inches or so. And I figured it would be easier for Amber to carry that way. And it was. But she had to go to the bathroom on the way out, and I was holding it, and some girl came over. She's like, "Are you okay, sweetie?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just waiting for my friend." But it was so nice of her to just check and make sure, because I was like sitting on the scooter holding this giant box full of stuff. But yeah, people, I mean, I'm sure you can come across some interesting people that, you know, feel like they can tear you down. But at the end of the day, you're in the most magical place on earth, you know? Forget them. But, yeah. I think that's pretty much about everything. I hope I have a trip announcement to tell you very, very soon. I'm so excited. Yeah, I do want to go down and visit my cousin. They're moving up to St. Petersburg, so I might, if I go see them, I might have to do a day trip. So it might be a little sooner. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I hope you are having a magical day, and see you real soon. Bye.